as I had swapped over video but not audio. Whoops. So I hope none of that technical stuff was important.
It's okay.
I will verify my lore before next week.
Okay.
Why is Futuristic Chronicles about the past? I'm confused by the futuristic part.
I probably am too. Where the hell Futuristic Chronicles come from?
One of the
I don't know. I see it. I just don't remember. I thought I cut that one. I'm sorry. That one shouldn't be in there. Dang it.
Okay.
I thought I had them
I
perfect.
didn't take it then.
Yeah, that all looks right. Yeah, I built a huge list with like ChatGPT, and then I was starting to cut out some of them. I thought I got that one. I guess I didn't.
So I put up Spectre's character image, and I went and found an AI animator. So he keeps blinking at me. It's a little weird.
Wait, what? I gotta see this.
But I think it's really funny because I tried to do it with who is the other one?
Oh god, that's freaky.
It's a little weird, right? I tried to do
It's
it.
like blinking one eye.
Oh, I tried to do it with both Felix and Raptor, and it did do Felix's, but the blink was a little creepy, like more creepy than Spectre's. And then Raptors, it didn't even recognize it as a face, which I think is hilarious because I feel like that's more face-like than the rest of ours. So, um,
What is light a factor? Like if I do this,
what?
is light a factor? Light
You're-
and recognizing the face.
You are not. These are character portraits that I'm animating, not you.
Oh, not over. Okay, not okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I'm sure it would be.
Neon alleyways.
Not gonna lie, I could totally see Spectre being like the cousin of the K-pop killer in DBD.
What?
Yeah. Hang on. You guys don't know who I'm
Hold
talking
on.
about.
I just have good fashion, okay?
What's BBD?
Dead by Daylight.
Oh, yeah, but I deal it. Yeah.
It is the Trickster, is his title. Hang on.
Kind of bummed that Nicolas Cage is not an actual monster. He's just a survivor.
No, he's gonna be a survivor in it.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty awesome.
Kind of wish he was a monster though.
You know what? I feel like he should be both.
Yeah. Right.
Um.
My lord.
But yeah, you can kind of see it, right?
A little bit.
A little bit. Maybe it's the eyes. Might be the eyes that's getting to me.
The eyes. Got those golden eyes.
It's got like the same lips and everything too, though.
Look, I may or may not be related to a K-pop person, okay? And ask for fashion advice.
Okay, so the Futuristic Chronicler was supposed to be renamed.
Okay.
Because it is still something that's useful. Basically, you just have an expertise of a specific area or an era. I shouldn't have said area. A specific location or an era.
How is that affected by the blip, though?
Well, yeah, you don't know what's happened in the blip, but so if you took like I'm specialized in the blip, you found receipts. I mean, there's there's not much for you to know there. You know what? I'll give that one to you for free. But like if you're taking like Seattle or you're taking time in Seattle, like the early 2000s, stuff like that.
You mean like 10 years ago?
I'm going with the 2077 where we are currently in the game.
Now, can we still roll on like knowledges we don't have, or
Yeah,
just
there's
without
still be
like having
roll.
it?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is supposed to be a bonus.
Okay.
And sometimes like I would look at it just its rank and be like, oh yeah, you know this.
Gotcha. All right, then I think I'm all set.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick bio and then we can go ahead and start. You're back.
Did you ever finish the new Dragon, Aaron?
No, I got distracted by other things.
Gotcha.
I did finish Ted Lasso, though, and it was great.
I'm still like 3 episodes from the end. I'm not sure. I'm not really motivated to finish it. Like,
How can you not be motivated to finish it unless you don't want it to end, in which case I understand.
I feel like it's becoming more of a prestige drama.
What do you mean?
Um, I don't know. I just feel like it's hard to describe. I feel like it's becoming more formulaic in this 3rd season than his first 2. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that better. I'm sorry.
Was my expression fairly puzzled because I was like, how
Yeah.
is it formulaic? Because I'm
I
like,
don't know, it's
they definitely have like literary tropes that they kind of loop back
true.
on, but I don't feel like it's formulaic. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're meaning.
More TV tropes than literary tropes. I feel like. I don't know. It's just a feeling that I'm having while I'm watching this 3rd season, especially it started like around episode 6 or 7, and then the last season I'm like, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it.
That's really sad. I'm sorry.
I don't know. No, that sucks. For me.
Yeah, I was super excited about it. I thought the conclusion was really well rounded. One of my friends pointed out that it was kind of cool that they brought back the theme of their fate not being entirely in their own hands due to circumstances. So,
Yeah.
James, have you finished Ted Lasso?
Oh yeah,
Was it?
love that show. I'm about to start it over and go through it again.
I'm going to as well. It was so good.
I did also fly through Yellow Jackets.
That is on my list. When I'm ready to actually start something new.
I want to talk about a show that's fucked up. That's a good one.
Is it worse than my theory of alien controlled dentists implanting eggs into your wisdom teeth holes?
No, maybe depends.
Like, I know a little bit of the plot because people at work kept talking about it, and I'm like, la 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 la, but I still heard some of it, so.
I mean, the first 10 seconds of the show, you already know where that's going to go. They kind of almost play like, here's a highlight point, and now we're going to tell you how we got here.
Gotcha.
Where's it at? Is that on the Roku channel?
That's on Paramount/Showtime,
Okay.
or however you like to get your media.
Yeah.
Also, School Spirits is fun. I really enjoyed the show.
Haven't heard of that one.
Yeah.
That's also a Paramount one. But basically, it's kind of a high school mystery, like who did it kind of felt CW-ish, except that it wasn't on CW.
Were the people
and-
pretty?
I mean, yeah, they weren't freaking gorgeous. But yeah, it was a high school-ish thing. But the thing is that starts out with them having a high school, one of those, like, we come together and we're talking about something, and apparently something tragic happened to one of the girls at the school, and she's sitting up there in the bleachers watching her own, like, oh, everybody's mourning my death. She's a ghost in the school. She died there. She has no idea why she died there in the school, and so she's trying to figure it out.
Does she talk kind of like this?
No. She didn't moan any toilets or anything.
Didn't die in a toilet.
Oh, what was another one? Oh, Severance. Jesus Christ! If you guys haven't seen Severance, that is a great show.
Oh god, CS Severance is amazing.
It basically, the plot is that he goes to work, or when they go to work, they're calling them innies and outies, but basically they're outside of work. Brain part is severed, and they only remember anything that they see or do at work. When they leave work, their innie's brain are severed, and they have no idea what they did at work. So basically, they go into work and they get into an elevator, and then the elevator opens up and they're done with the workday.
Reality questions ensue.
That's like
Yeah.
extreme network segmentation right there.
Yeah. And then stuff starts happening, and they're trying to figure out, like, what the hell's going on the other side. And then it picks up from there. Apparently, this is Ben Stiller is directing it. And yeah, he just did a freaking bang up job.
Yeah, well, I think
Unfortunately, the writer block, the writers strike.
Do they
blocking it.
use the Red Hot Chili Pepper song "Other Side" during the soundtrack at all?
no.
I have no idea. I don't remember. I don't
I don't
remember
think
that coming
so.
out.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's block the show from coming out until next year though. Season 2. But season 1 was freaking amazing. It's the first time in a long time that I've sat on the edge of my seat going.
Yeah. Anyone see Across the Spider-Verse yet?
Not yet. Soon.
I've heard it's
I
good.
really want to.
It's pure art. Every frame.
All I know
in
is
my-
apparently everybody's Spider-Man. That's what I
Get
got
into
from
my
it.
eyes. Get it into my eyes.
Alrighty.
Alrighty then. Let's do this. Alright. First things first. Let's go ahead and take care of these rumors. It's been forever.
Oh yeah, those
Oh
are
shit.
Delete this notepad off my desktop.
I can finally delete this text document.
Alpha. Gotta search our convo history from our room. There we go.
I once heard during a blackout, she was able to power enough of the city using potato electricity to get it back online.
Okay.
Let's see here. Rumor is that all the corporations thought Alpha Blue's potential was being wasted as a bodyguard and desired to have her as a runner for them. So they colluded together and had the celebrity Alpha Blue as bodyguarding for publicly had her publicly assassinated, so Alpha Blue would be humiliated and be forced into the runner business Now Blue only takes high-level contracts in hopes of finding the persons responsible for her current lot in life. She's biding her time, waiting to mete out her revenge. All the while, the corps don't have it in the faintest clue that she's she's on to them.
Very cool.
My rumor is that the Alpha Blue runner is not actually the original Alpha Blue bodyguard, but someone else who took up her name after she fell off the grid for unknown reasons.
The Dread Pirate Blue.
Okay.
The rumor for Alpha Blue, she is an AI downloaded into a cyber brain and had it inserted into a host human body.
Okay. Nice. So, all of them but one are true, and we might find out later.
Wait, I thought it was the other way around. All of them except for one are true?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, I can see mine and dang it, brain shut off. Foxtrot. Raptor and Foxtrot's worked well together. Since the brain implanted would not be the original.
Yeah.
Potato power? I don't know. Need some pretty powerful spuds.
Dude, that sounds legit. Like that's how you make a name for
Oh,
yourself.
10,000 potatoes.
I mean, didn't say what kind of potatoes. Who knows?
Right.
I mean, this is a cyberpunk universe. There could be like these super uranium potatoes.
It's like the 9 volts
Super
linked together.
spuds.
Nuka spuds. Yeah.
Is that like a Nuka-Cola?
Or-
Nuka-Spud?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do our characters know these rumors, or is this a?
Mhm.
Okay.
These are just things that you've heard over time about who Alpha Blue is. She's very famous amongst not only the runner community but just the celebrity community in general.
Yeah.
You see a lot of like advertisements and stuff like illegally using her name. Well, it's not really illegal because they make up the rules and capitalism is the winner there. But you'll see like energy drinks with her name and stuff on it that she didn't endorse, but it's drawn just slightly different. But so what's going on with everybody?
I'm a little confused, I guess, timeline-wise, where we are with like last week and everything.
I
It's
mean,
like that
the
was
next
just
day?
done in between when I was supposed to be meeting up with her, right?
yeah, you still had time to go meet up with her afterwards.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is like we squeezed this in, so
Mm-hmm.
Ray's would probably be like, I don't know, like getting a drink of water at home before going back out again. Like she doesn't really have any extra time to do a
Yep.
whole heck of a lot.
It's fair. Are you reaching out to others to join?
I thought I already did that.
Okay.
I thought we left off with, like us being uncertain on what we were doing.
Sorry, it's been a lot of things happened since then, so I thought
That's fair.
that was a thing, and I know she talked to Foxtrot, obviously. And I think, James, you and I talked about her knowing that she needed to have more people along or something after talking to her handler or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, however that works out that she would have talked to people, then yes, that was a thing.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take care of that. So you're gonna Spectre, where are you at?
This is a couple hours after our conversation. I probably just went home.
Okay. And then I guess Raptor.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember what was going on. The last time I remember people being shot at.
Yeah, I remember you
I was
two.
at home.
Well, yeah, and then everybody came back there, chatted. Then I guess they all broke.
Did I ever get my info from Raptor? Actually, I forget.
He
I went to
started
his
running.
place.
He started running a trace. He's 1/3 of the way there.
Still,
It,
it's a
I
long
know it's
trace.
been like weeks, but it's really only been like an hour or two.
I thought it'd be
By the way,
faster at this.
if you have 0 points to start, make sure you add a plot point. So,
Oh yeah, if anybody is at 0,
Joe was. So
yeah,
yeah.
game
I
one.
thought that was just if you have the skill now.
If you
Or
have
the
the
extra.
skill, you gain 1 at the beginning of every game. If you do not have the skill, if you're at 0, you get 1. You don't start the game with 0.
If you're at 0 and you have the skill, do you get 2?
No.
Okay.
All right. Come on, open up.
What determines putting the plot point in the chat? I see Foxtrot gain 1, and Pappy, I guess, kind of gained 1. His name didn't show up, but when I increased
Yeah, that
mine,
one
it
too.
didn't show up.
How did you increase yours?
I hit the plus button next to plot points.
So did I.
He's off the grid.
I wonder what. Oh, you know what? Because you're probably not. Yeah, some things went weird. With the combat tracker. So yeah, let me delete. Pappy is like half in the combat tracker. That is so weird. I bet you that's because I loaded the game with the bad rule set. So it boked that. Okay, so now when you increase, it should show. Try it. There you go.
So, did Raptor then have the skill? I assume that he got a plot point as well. Just making sure.
Yeah, Raptor, you don't have the skill for that. Sorry, Spectre ratted you out.
He's a blue falcon.
I gotta do what I gotta do. It's nothing personal.
All right.
Nothing personal.
So, okay, so I'm expecting that Phrase has reached out to you, Raptor, to set up a meet with Alpha Blue. She probably let you know, hey, if Spectre's with you, could you bring him? If he's not, can you go pick him up? Because asshole doesn't have a phone. We need to get you some kind of comm device so we can get a hold of you a little bit easier.
Tracker.
Like, just shout my name to the skies, or like put up a bat signal, you know.
What's the equivalent of those like phones with big numbers for senior citizens?
Well, we shine a shadow to the sky, but nobody ever sees it.
You can't do it at night. It doesn't work like that.
It's the shadow signal. I don't know how this works.
Just point a lamp, like a flashlight at the sky, and don't turn it on.
Okay. So I'm expecting that you guys are all meeting outside the rendezvous points. And once you arrive, you realize that you're outside of a funeral home.
Raptor, did you pick this place?
No, why would I pick this place?
Well, that's an excellent question. Glad I asked it.
Does no one know who
Fair
designated
enough.
this location? What do you mean?
I thought you picked this place since you have a contact. No?
I thought you set up the meet.
No, your handler
No.
set up the meet.
Okay, James, you said that you wanted Raptor to go ahead and set up the meet, so I thought we were changing the plot.
Set up the meet.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I did?
Yeah.
Can you give me more context of what I said?
You said, okay, I'm assuming that you talked to Raptor and you're gonna have Raptor set up the meet. So I was just rolling with it.
Set up to meet with you. I guess I don't know how my brain is not finishing sentences. Well,
Okay.
my brain's finishing them. It's just that it's not
More.
translating into the
Then
voice
Raze would not have asked that.
box. No. Set up to meet with the rest of you. Pick up Spectre on the way.
Got it.
Is what I totally meant.
Then Raze will probably like just scope out the place, kind of get a little bit of the lay of the land, like if there are any obvious points of attack or defensibility-ness stuff.
Luckily, give me a burglary check. I guess one of your distinctions, probably intuition or logic, and burglary.
I was going to put points into that, but I was like, no, after the horrid attempt I had last time, I had to keep that cannon.
Do I automatically get a D4 if I don't, or no? Do I just roll 2 dice then if I don't have any burglary?
If you don't have any burglary, you roll just 2 dice.
So that wouldn't be like a survival or a notice or an investigate?
If you're looking for...
I'm not trying to break into the place. I'm trying to scope it out to see if we were going to be assaulted, the best way to defend, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but literally every single thing in the past, I don't know, fucking 5 episodes is, how do we kill Ray today?
That's fair. Yeah, survival could work there.
Okay. I did already roll my 2. Can I just roll a d6 separately and...
Yes, but just drag it up and drop it into the reroll shield that's on your thing.
Oh, that's cool.
I heard it did that part.
Nice. Not that it's a very good roll anyways, but...
It was still higher than a 1, so
a higher than a 1.
cool.
Can I also just kind of listen in, see if I hear any people inside or talking, breathing, etc.?
Talking, breathing in a funeral home?
Yeah, go ahead and give me your distinction. Probably the attribute would be intuition.
Yeah. Tuition.
And then
Nightwalker.
notice.
Notice.
By the way, I picked death as inevitable because it's a funeral home. I felt it was very fitting.
Nice.
I don't get a bonus die for that, right? Just checking. Your dice are so sparkly.
I'm buying that.
Okay.
Look at
Is there a
that auto
difficulty I'm
plot
rolling
point
against, or-
assignment. So nice.
Oh, that is nice. Is there a difficulty or is that hidden?
Sorry. Well, you could buy that too.
Outcome is D4?
The effect is a D4.
Or, sorry, yeah, effect. Okay.
Because I didn't have a third dice to use.
Where's the oh, it's up here now. Okay.
Nice. So yeah, how does...
Did you? Sorry, I don't think that's right. Like, I had a good roll and I definitely passed, but I don't think that's right.
What?
I don't think I rolled a 10 and a 6. I think it just. I'm gonna roll again. I just wanna
There's no
check
way
something.
that you didn't...
I mean, mine rolled correctly. The only exception might be that maybe because of a hitch, but James rolled a hitch and it looked like it assigned it correctly.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll again and look at stuff, but go on.
Okay. That...
Unless I'm just. I might be crazy. I'll just go again.
Satiate your
It looked like
paranoia.
it looked like the dice rolled high when I saw them land on the screen. Because I think you're faking that roll, I'm not going to buy those.
Yeah. These are just whatever. Okay, maybe I did. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Okay, it's working fine. I was
I
like,
mean,
did it
there's
change
some
it when
that
I
are
hit
not
like the max outcome or something? No, it's fine. Apparently, I just don't pay attention. Go on.
Okay. So yeah, your super hearing kicks in and it travels in through the front door and down the halls, and you hear a woman and two men talking, and you hear basically the gist of the conversation is that they are trying to talk her out of hiring runners and want her to use use people from them, basically. And she keeps on blowing them off and telling them that she has her reasons for wanting to work with her own people, and there's a lot of people that she just can't trust right now. And they don't
This
seem
is
too happy about that situation.
half out of game, half in game. When Ray got the meetup invite, that wasn't to meet with her handler. That was to meet with Alpha Blue, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I don't recognize, like, this is a new woman's voice. It's not like the handler or anyone I knew. Okay.
Right. Yeah, you have no idea who this is.
I don't think you would know my handler either, though.
True.
That is also true.
Well, I thought the person who contacted us was the woman who we saved the child of. So wouldn't I know her?
No, wasn't the
Oh.
same person.
Okay.
She hired you in benefit of that lady.
Okay. So yeah, I tell the rest of the group, like, there's 3 people down there, 1 woman, who I'm assuming is Alpha. The other 2 seem quite apprehensive about hiring us, so I don't know. They might be kind of skeptical when we appear or on guard. They seem to want her to hire their services instead for some reason. But aside from that, I don't hear
So
anything
they're not
else
hiring us.
suspicious in here.
They are our competition?
Yes, it seems like. She still seems to want to hire us, so I think we're good to go in.
Ray's just gonna check both her gun and her sword, just make sure that, you know, they're loose in their scabbard sort of thing, just in case.
Okay.
So we just knock on the front door then?
It's a funeral home, so you just go on in.
Creepy music.
As you enter, the air is thick with the scent of synthetic flowers and incense, creating an artificial atmosphere that is both comforting and unsettling. The lighting is dim and cold, casting a blue-tinted glow on the walls and furniture, making everything appear surreal and lifeless. The hum of machinery and the occasional beep of medical equipment can be heard in the background. The decor is minimalist, with sleek lines and hard angles, creating an almost futuristic feel. The funeral home is a place of high-tech mourning, with holographic images and 3D models of the deceased on display, adding a strange and surreal touch. When you reach the back of the room, you find Alpha Blue talking to staff members. They all glance over at you, and she dismisses them with a wave of the hand. In the center of the room is a casket. You see a pale, lifeless body of the deceased, seemingly frozen in time. The air is heavy with sadness and loss, and you can feel the weight of grief pressing down on you. The sounds of mournful music and whispered condolences fills the air, adding the emotional and intensity of the moment. Despite the artificial atmosphere and futuristic decor, there is a sense of reverence in the air, as if the funeral home is a sacred space that honors the life and passing of the deceased. It is a place of mourning that transcends the technology and reminds us of the fragility and preciousness of life. Something I really need to read over if I wrote it 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. She's the two men that she waved off. They turn around, they leave, and as soon as the second one leaves, he closes the door behind him, and you hear a kind of almost like the air pop, like you would expect, like if you were entering into like a sound booth or a place where sound is kept inside.
Do they enter or do they leave through the door we're entering through? Or is it like a different
Yes.
door?
Yeah, once you all gather in the room, they step on out.
Okay.
She turns to you and says, "Thank you for coming. I know this is a little bit of an unusual meeting place, but any inconveniences, I promise to compensate you for later."
It's certainly not the worst meeting place I've ever had. And Rizzle, I don't know, is it still normal to shake hands here? Is that like a normal thing in this day and age?
It could be, sure.
Okay, well, Rizzle'll step forward and offer her hand. She'll be like, I'm Raze. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Alpha greets it. And she looks at the rest of you, waiting.
Rizzle kind of like gesture for you guys to introduce your own selves.
I give her like a greeting nod and like, Spectre.
Nice to meet you.
The
She'll
name's
nod at you.
The name's Foxtrot.
Foxtrot. Well, again, thank you for coming out here. She looks down at the glass of the person inside and takes kind of a hesitating breath, and she says to you, "Oh, I have a photo of her."
What? Oh, the deceased or?
No. Of her. Yeah, Alpha. I had it up and ready, but then I had to reset. All right. So she says to you, "You may know me as Alpha Blue. Normally, I'm working your side of the trade, but I have a personal stake in this, and for obvious reasons that you'll soon learn, I can't do this run. Very few people alive on this planet knows that my name is Aaron Scott. I'm telling you this because I need your trust, and I don't have time for the normal subterfuge games that we tend to play. She pauses for a moment.
Do we recognize that name at all? Like, did we know the bodyguard's original name when she was still a bodyguard? Or was she still just known as Alpha Blue back then?
She was known as Alpha Blue. Nobody ever knew her name. Irony.
Razel, she'll stiffen a little bit and kind of like look at her and just give her like a very slow, small nod.
Just in case anybody's curious of like the formalities, you don't give up your real name when you're running. And a Johnson has never in ever history said who they are. They might say who they're working for, but yeah. Last night, someone shot my brother, Neil, while he was driving home from his downtown office. And this morning, I got a chunk of interesting mail that he sent me just before he left. She reaches over to her bag, pulls out a couple items, and sets it down on top of the glass coffin and slides it over towards you. There seems to be a letter, a blueprint, and a business card. And she sits down. She was like, "I'll give you a moment."
Sorry, I'm actually taking notes. It was a letter, a what, and a what?
A letter, a blueprint, and a business card. I'm gonna drop the letter into the party sheet. If you click on the party sheet inventory, hopefully you should be able to see it. And inside there's
It says image note to blue, and then it doesn't actually open the image for me.
So how do you get to the party sheet?
I see it.
Top right hand corner under tools. It's the like 3-person looking one.
There it is.
Yeah.
You should also be able to open up the letter from now on, after I shared it.
Got it. What's a Drek hot fence?
I'm getting 2 questions. What? Dreckhot fence?
That's part of the letter.
Oh. It's terminology that they tend to use.
Oh, okay, what does the terminology mean?
He's a really good, so like a fence, a person that sets up.
Yeah, I get that part. Is Drek hot a good thing or a bad thing?
Good thing.
Okay.
It's busting.
What does it mean also when he says be his is no technomancer, that he's not a technomancer?
It should have been, but he is no technomancer.
Okay. Why is the technomancer part relevant in this? Is that something that they would do often to like acquire things like this, or?
So technomancers are magic matrix people who do magic inside of the matrix.
I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm just being real thick or what, but I don't understand the relevance as to why he's pointing out he's not a technomancer.
Unfortunately, you get from the letter what you get from the letter.
Okay.
Dutch Donovan. Do we know that name?
You've possibly never heard it before.
Donovan just sounds familiar.
What kind of lore do you got?
It's mostly magical stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you most likely have.
Okay.
Raptor, you would have a chance of knowing who Dutch Donovan is.
Is Multitech a company, or is that just like a division or like a department? It's not sure because it's lowercase.
That one's easy to kind of look up. You would figure out quickly it's a company.
Okay. Gotta capitalize your proper nouns.
Look, I used a writing font. It did what it did.
Oh god, this is Spectre's understanding none of this.
Is there anything else unusual about this letter? I'm assuming that it is literally like handwritten on a piece of paper sort of thing and not... It doesn't have any other significant marks or anything on it?
Not that. Most likely not.
Okay.
Yeah, no. You look it over and there's nothing that would pop it out. Unless you're getting super sciencey with the letter, then maybe we might talk about something, but...
Ray's not really a science person.
This is a handwritten letter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the blueprint is in a chip. So like who's looking at that?
That sounds like a
Okay.
raptor thing to me. Or foxtrot, one of those two.
Yep. Give me a logic engineering check. Always assume there's a distinction. Yeah, I think it would be logic. Engineering.
That's what I
don't
fucked
think
up.
Barry Rig would make sense.
How about knowledges?
What do you have that might?
I have intrusive countermeasures, netrunners network, corporate conglomerates, cyber conveyances, vehicles, and aerotech for nah, probably not.
What is your aerotech for?
All air vehicles, drones,
Okay.
planes, and then cyber conveyances are basically all land vehicles. Since I am a rigger.
I'll let you add your corporate conglomerates in there.
Back to my corporate conglomerates. Just biotech, cyberware, and weapon manufacturers. Is there going to be a DC and a effect, or just DC?
Sorry, there will be a. Yes, there will be a DC and an effect. Not a very good one though.
And if I buy that, that's what for me. It won't be for this roll, it'll be for next roll, right?
Yeah, you can utilize that. You can click on the link and it will open up a thing to tell you what you could purchase with it.
I can add an asset. So difficulty is going to be what, 6? And then I got to beat a 4.
Yeah, you got to be a 6 and a D4.
Okay. I will buy that hitch and an asset.
Okay.
And I clicked on it. What did it do? As a D6. The asset would be some kind of markings or jargon that may help.
Okay.
Well, Dick Monkey running.
That hurt to watch. Those are some
Well,
bright ass dice.
Yeah, lime green.
That's got to be it once, or can I be it multiple times?
Wait, what?
If I have a higher effect dice, is there like a degrading, or is it just one and done?
I don't understand what you mean. I'm sorry.
So, like, do I have to beat multiple times? Will that to me any?
Oh no. This isn't a. Yeah, this doesn't have a threshold. This is just
Okay.
a difficulty. Okay, so you beat it by more than 5, so your 8 actually becomes a 10. Yeah, that's something that if anybody could come up with a story on how we can do this systematically, I would love to be able to calculate heroic rolls. But for every 5 that you beat the difficulty by, you get to step up your effect die by 1. And so if Pappy rolled 16, he would have been able to step it up by 2. Or 17. Pappy, you're muted, I think.
How about now? That better?
No, I hear you.
Totally hear you.
All these buttons, more buttons. But I didn't even need to step it up anymore, did I? It wouldn't have helped.
I mean, yes and no. Like, you still beat it by a heck of a lot more.
Because I
But
could have spent a PP and added another die in. Maybe go higher.
yes. Well, I mean, if you added another die, I mean, yeah, that would definitely make it go higher. That would definitely be something that we would have to work out what it would be. But I mean, this is still no. I don't think it's worth this one, the PP point for it.
Okay.
So I need a piece of information real quick. You rolled, well, I rolled much crappier than I was expecting to roll. And so that kind of changed things. But that's okay.
Happens.
Yep.
The joy of rolling die.
that's the third storyteller of the game. I forgot the name of the frickin' unit. Gosh darn
Your
it.
unit.
Ha.
Jules. Jules.
Okay, so yeah, you start. You open it up, and it is a cyber eye. It is weird technology than what you're used to. It is quite possible that this is techno magic that actually assembled it, if it is to work at all. But everything that's needed for this eyepiece is there. It's just that its assembly is beyond uh, anything you would have probably dreamed up.
So this is theoretical blueprints, unless you use magic.
Yeah, I mean, if magic's involved, it could work, but it seems a little hokey. But you scroll in and you read that this isn't the original blueprint. This is actually specs. This is something that's after it's been designed, after it's worked and its full implementation. Upon further looking, you piece together that most of the chips come from this corporation called FARC Electronics.
FARC?
Yep, FARK.
Any particular connection to any of the major corps? The AAAs?
The chipset or the chipsets are often bought from this company, and this is a well-known supplier. They just don't work in the actual like triple or quadruple A sectors. They're
Okay.
suppliers for them.
Okay. But they're not a subsidiary of any of them.
No.
Okay. So the blueprint
Yep.
is the specs on the eye optic. The chips in the eye optic. Now, is it an eyeball?
Mhm.
So it's an eyeball itself.
Yep.
So the chips in the eye come from FARC Electronics.
Mhm.
Okay, blueprints. So that means blueprint is specs, which means it's been made.
Yep.
The guy's name is that Vanian, Vanian, his friend. You know, letter, the guy who's not the Techno Mage.
Yep. I'm trying to get back to my notes.
Okay.
You're asking her that?
No, I'm asking if that's what I read. How I spell his name.
Oh, Vanin?
Yeah. Because you had the funny font.
Sorry.
Vanian.
Anybody else? What are you all doing?
Oh, I'd also like to check Dutch Donovan for any information.
Sure. You can run a trace for that.
Is Foxtrot's information gathering mostly in the physical realm information gathering, or is it digital too?
It's mostly in the field, as in like perception. Less
Okay.
investigation and more perception.
Then I guess Riz will suggest to Raptor to possibly do a check on both if there was any sort of tracing done on Neil's searching last night while he was looking up information about the blueprints, as well as if there were any sort of traces on the fence as well. To see if anybody is
Yes.
watching them.
That was in the line of tracing.
Wait, so that's going to be part of your trace for Dutch
So-
Donovan?
Oh,
Or
no,
sorry, or Vivian?
I want to find out who Dutch Donovan is. Then
Okay.
I want to search, most likely probably police records or any kind of databases for Vonovan, of who he is and where it might be. And then also check Neil's attempt at researching things, since now I know where the electronics came from and about the blueprint. See where
Okay.
he might be looking.
Okay.
Also, does any of Spectre's magic, what does it do aside from shadow stuff, or is that just the focus of it?
I have shadow. I can control shadows and stuff. I also
do
have
tracking, James?
very much heightened senses in various ways, and I can summon creatures if need be.
Any of your creatures have insight into the past?
They're not
James,
that helpful.
James,
I
would
know
that
it's
be
like
hacking?
summoning a demon.
Cracking, hacking?
Yeah, this could be hacking.
Fucker.
What?
Nothing.
You don't have cracking?
Knowledge. Can I use my corporate climate for hacking for this one too? Or no?
All right, so you're trying to figure out who Dutch Donovan is, where you can find him, and also how.
Well, I just want to know who Dutch Donovan is.
Uh-huh. But didn't you say that you're wanting to know his whereabouts?
No, that's Vanovan.
I guess sworn you said Dutch Donovan's whereabouts. Okay.
Well, no, yeah, I just want to know who he is first, then possibly his whereabouts. But sure, I'll do it all in one.
Okay. You also want to know who Vanian is?
Yep, and then his whereabouts.
Okay. And then didn't you also mention that you want to know was there any scans or any thing about any
Neil.
search histories of what Neil was looking at?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, could I use an intrusive countermeasure or corporate conglomerate for this search?
So you can use corporate conglomerate.
Don't you have an asset from that hitch you bought earlier too?
I used it.
Oh.
James, you're gonna kill me, man. I hate you.
By the way, when you purchase them, you're supposed to use them next. Like, they're now part of the scene.
Well, it didn't really matter anyways. If you want, I can use it now. It didn't help me anyways. I used all my...
No, I mean, you already used it, and I was just gonna say whatever, it's done, but just for future rolls.
While he is rolling this, after I finish reading the letter, I kind of look up to Alpha, and I'm kind of so what is the exact goal you want from us from this mission? Are we to discover the mystery behind this? Are we to find the killers? What exactly do you want from us?
I want to know who pulled the trigger, and I want to know who authorized it.
Okay.
Wasn't there a business card also?
There was. The business card is Vanian. It has his information and his shop, and his, I don't know, Vanian Cyberwares, and it says exotic cyberwares under it.
As Raptor's clearly searching for him, Ray's will kind of tap him on the shoulder and hand him the card.
But he's searching for a lot of other stuff too. So that's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
that's where the 310 threshold is coming in.
I just hear like angry grunting in the corner.
You have to get it in one roll. This is an overtime thing.
Okay.
We're building a house. 1 hour later, it has to be done.
I mean, it's like that first night in Minecraft. You gotta build someplace to stay, or the zombie's gonna get you. You know.
Okay, fucker. Let's do it this way. I'm spending a PP. Oh, oh way, other way, that way. There you go. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are.
Just imagine Raptor's like facing a corner, and you just hear just frustrating like growl, like what's you okay with it?
Yeah, Ray's gonna kind of glance over at Blue, just be like, "This is normal process, I think."
Like,
Got the tongue hang out the side and like
do I
doing
have like
hacking and
cyber
not-
hacking music?
I'm hacking and then it's like the montage for hackers where they're spinning around in the phone booths.
Yeah, just find some NCIS music.
I've got the Pac-Man. I got rabbits. Need a influenza shot for the rabbits.
I'm passing the microvirus. I don't know, some BS jargon.
Okay, James. I got one.
Here we go. If the page would just load.
Let's see, he got the blueprint again.
Oh, okay. All right.
I asked Alpha Blue if she knew this Vanian before of this letter, or is it the first time you've ever been brought up to her?
She's like, no, I've known Vanian for a while. I don't know a lot about him. I just know who he is. But apparently my brother has worked often as a freelance for him. But basically he's a freelance with the Jones for like very exotic cyberware.
Your brother was?
Pretty
Or
reliable.
Vivian was.
I mean, to a point, he's reliable with when it comes down to money. But he likes to make a buck. He's big on stolen tech and copying it or repurposing it. And that's where my brother came in a lot for him.
So what's your brother's specialty?
He was a techomancer.
So he was a technomancer.
Have you spoken to Vanian since the incident? Or...
No, I tried looking him up, but it's only been a little while.
Okay. I see his shop was listed on the card, so I don't know if you
So
tried
what's
to
the
stop by or...
What was the business card?
I've had some other, and she kind of looks at the coffin. I've had some other requirements that needed my attention. The business card, it was Vanian's.
Vanian's, so what's his card?
So is that obviously her brother in the casket in front of her?
Yes.
Did you say it had a glass lid, or did I imagine that?
The entire coffin is glass.
The cause of death apparent?
Not anymore. But she did tell you,
He was shot.
yeah, he was shot while driving home.
Is there a coroner's report or anything?
And she, like, you see her like looking around and then tapping, and then she flicks over towards you, and your AR is requesting permission to accept a document
Real looks up.
Um, basically, it's where was it? It's an initial report from Lone Star. Basically, Neil was on his way home from the downtown office where he does most of his work. She fills in the fact that he usually drives the same route every day. He's a normie. He doesn't do the kind of work that we do. But basically, he was at a red light at the intersection of Leopold and LEOB. I don't know how to say that. Leob. Bleh. But
That's nowhere near where I got attacked, right?
No.
How do you spell it?
LEOB.
Loeb?
Loeb.
Yeah. I always guess
Yes.
Loeb. Yeah.
Leopold and Loeb. I guess for his frontal lobe. Anyways, but basically, sniper opened fire, and the bullets ripped right through the car and through Neil's head and chest.
Real get done like reading through the report, look up at Blue. Was your relationship with him known? Was there any chance that someone knew that he was your brother?
I doubt it. It is possible. But
No one high on your suspect list.
no. I've kept my shadow life and my personal life extremely private. Even, and she says the celebrity's name, didn't even know who I was.
Alright, so not a why so serious situation. Got it.
Can I do a semi-retroactive check to see if she's been lying about anything so far?
Yep.
That would be intuition.
Jesus Christ.
Oh gosh.
Hey, leave him out of this.
So,
Oh gosh.
I'm buying those. Because
Are you guys
Yeah.
okay? What the hell?
apparently,
No, the kids are not okay. Okay.
but yeah, she was. I don't have the ability to do this yet, but something I'm going to be building in here because I saw Matt Mercer and Brendan Lee Mulligan talking about this, and it's the coolest thing on the planet. Anytime you're having somebody roll a check where you don't want the other people to know if they're lying or not, you get to tell the person they can choose between either their persuasion or deceit, and they don't tell them which one they rolled. So that way, when they succeed, they could have been telling the truth, or they could have been lying, and you don't know.
Wow.
I was like,
Wait, explain
Well-
that again?
so anytime you're asking somebody to roll where the other person doesn't, you don't want them to know if they were lying or not, you get to tell that player, roll either your persuasion or deceit. Just don't tell them which one you rolled. And
Yeah, but
so-
if you've already said the stuff in game,
right.
how would you
And so,
retcon
like, you
that?
say something and somebody goes, I'm going to check to see if they're lying. Okay, go ahead and roll your persuasion or deceit. And the person go ahead and roll your notice or whatever, your perception. And so If they succeed, then if the defense succeeds, they can either assume that they're lying or assume that they were, or they could just assume that they're lying, or
So
they
you
just
wouldn't
didn't
see.
persuade them that they're telling the truth.
So not only would you not know what they're rolling, you wouldn't see the outcome of the roll.
No, you could see the outcome of the roll. So, okay, I'm trying to either persuade or deceive you. Okay, I roll, I get a 10. You roll because you're either being persuaded or deceived, and you roll and get a 12. So you beat me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't persuade you that I was telling the truth if I was telling the truth, or I didn't lie well enough for you to believe it. If you roll under, then I either persuaded you that this is what's happening, this is the truth, or I lied to you well enough that you believe that this is the truth.
Is the outcome different somehow? We can talk about it off camera. Let's carry on.
I just thought it was a really cool way of players never knowing if this, in the end, after the roll happens, if it was actually a lie or the truth.
We can talk about it
Especially
later.
if two players are doing it.
I'm not
against each
getting it. We'll talk about it later.
other. Okay.
So
Go ahead.
in this world, like Lone Star, when it comes to their incident reports, is there enough technology, like are there enough cameras around to like kind of like rewind and like have a video of like a rough video of like what happened?
If you can hack the right systems for it, but that's not something that Lone Star would just release.
Right.
Okay. So let me cover what Raptor got real quick.
Or do you want to finish my roll first? Never said if you were lying at all or not.
Did I not roll?
You did. You both rolled
You
two
rolled,
ones.
You rolled a 10 and with a outcome of
Oh.
4. Or
I rolled a
effect of
10.
4.
Oh,
got
I saw.
12.
I'm sorry. I saw the roll before that where it was two ones. Where I guess a 1
Yeah, we-
and a d8.
We both rolled 2 1s.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
That's why I asked you if you were okay.
We're not. Okay, so you feel like she's it's weird because it just feels like there's not enough information that she's giving you. Not necessarily that the things that she's told you hasn't been true, but like she's holding back for some reason.
Okay. I kind of like go up to her and I'm like, if we're gonna figure out a case like this, we need to have as much info as possible. You sure there isn't anything you didn't bring up yet or fail to mention? Feels kind of hard to go off of just this.
What are you trying to do here?
What do you mean? I'm just gathering info.
No.
Or is that out of
okay,
game?
what are you
Oh,
trying to
okay.
do?
I'm trying to get her to say anything else she might have not said.
Okay. So, how are you trying to do this? It feels like you're doing some kind of rapport.
Yeah, are you trying to like persuade her to trust you, sort of thing? Are you kind of trying to like intimidate her, or make her feel pressured?
I was just trying to appeal to her side of reason, I guess. If she wants the mission done, she's gonna have to help us out completely and trust us. So I
Okay.
guess more of a persuasion than.
Okay, so yeah, that would be like a rapport.
Maybe like a logic rapport?
That would probably be like charisma. You're trying to talk her into something, so yeah, it'd be kind of like a charisma rapport.
That'll be fun. Okay. Can I just like not roll on this? Then like in D&D is like a take 10. Can I just do that?
There's not a take 10.
Can I even beat that? I might be able to if I roll really well. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Tied you.
Didn't beat it though.
No.
Okay. Like you say that and like she
Wait,
looks at you.
can I say something real quick? Did you roll 2d4 and one was a 3 and one was a 4?
No, they were both threes, I believe. The 4 is just showing a 4 because.
Okay, that's what I wanted to
that's
clarify
the
because it's a
the
d4.
effect die.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay, okay.
All the effect dice will show the dice.
Except for if it's a hitch.
Well, those aren't effect dice. Those are hitches.
If they're ever like glowing the color of the dice, it'll show the max value of the die.
What was the one that James, you bought up his hitches?
So if I buy his hitches, the hitches are going to show that they're ones. This was the die.
So
the
on that
die
roll, he didn't have an effect die?
I had 5 dice roll.
So the hitches, when you roll.
So I'm looking in the history, and there was one where you bought hitches from Spectre, where he rolled 2d8 and they were both ones. So there wasn't an effect die in that roll?
He rolled a d10 and d8, and as soon as you roll, if you roll hitches, they immediately appear before it goes to the I'm picking which dice I want to use screen. And then I'm buying them from that. And then once you pick what I'm using screen, that's when it puts out your output and effect.
But in this roll, there's not an effect die.
GM rolled 3 dice. 2 of them were hitches, so he only had 1 die left over. So he had 1 effect. He had a D10.
Oh, because you can't
and
use
a default D4 effect.
So.
So you can't use the any hitch dice in a roll.
Correct.
I'm with
so
you.
as soon as you roll, when you have hitches, they immediately display. So when you see like his hitch alert, and then you see the very next roll, which is the 12. Well, the total was a 12.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Oh,
so
you had 5 dice.
the,
Okay, no, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the very bottom.
I got it now. I'm good.
Okay.
I didn't realize that was the same roll. So,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
Sorry.
So yeah, she looks up at you, and you could just see vulnerability in her, and she's like, I don't know what more to tell you.
I'm like, all right, just if you let us know if you remember anything else. And I go back to looking at the letter again, seeing if I missed anything.
Okay. So, getting in my head those 5 things again. All right, Pappy, I need you to make a note of what those things were that you were doing, just in case next game I forget. And then also mention that you've beaten one of the D10 thresholds. It's the threshold. The total threshold is 3d10, and you've defeated one of them so far. But it is, who is Dutch Donovan? Where can I find him? Any information about Vanian? What Neil was doing, or his history search lookups, missing anything else? I think I could find 2 of them for Banyan. But
So Van, who and where, Dutch, who and where, doing search history. That works.
okay. So the Banyan, the 3 threshold was mainly for the Dutch Donovan. Where can you find them, and the stuff about Neil, because Banyan was going to already be given to you with the business card.
Okay.
But you find that the Dutch, who is Dutch Donovan, came pretty quickly. Basically, he has a rep in the crop circles, basically stolen tech. He's also a chip designer, a legend in the field. And a lot of technomancers really think highly of his work. If you're relaying any of this information out, Alpha will speak up and say, I remember my brother would bring up his name from time to time before all of this. From what I hear, he used to ride the cutting edge, but stopped making headlines about 4 or 5 years ago. Most of us, I just assumed he was dead.
That's the blimp, right? 4-5 was the blimp.
Yeah. Yeah, he never made it out of the blip. At least that's what I assumed. But he's starting to pop up.
What company you work for? Or is it independent?
I don't know.
And stolen tech, they call it crop circles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, crops. He ran in crops circles. Like, he ran in thug circles, or he ran in...
Oh, so crops is thugs.
No, crops is the theft. Circles is like a group of people.
Yeah. So crop means theft.
Yeah. He also worked for Multitech.
Multi-tech?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of major corporations, a lot of 3 and 4As would hire him out. Anything that they needed, like, they could dream it up and he could pretty much create it. Most people assumed he was a technomancer, but he never actually admitted to it. But yeah, so you pull up a lot of information on him. And quite... there's some activity that ping back to his avatar.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You find activity that pings back to Donovan's avatar, like recent activity. It looks like it's been pretty, in the Matrix. It looks like it's been pretty shielded and hidden. Most people would not know it unless they were actively looking for him.
But he's a technomancer, right? You said?
So most people assumed he was, but he never admitted it.
Yeah, it's a question mark. Okay. Maybe I don't want to meet a technomancer in the fucking Matrix. I really don't.
And you're pulling up history of Neil. It's locked behind a few firewalls at Lone Star.
Really?
Yeah, so it looks like they have some information that they haven't released yet, part of their ongoing investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And you also see a log onto the what's the name of the group? Ares, yeah. You also see a server log onto the Ares servers.
From Neil?
Yeah, nothing to be gained from it. That's behind some firewalls and locked right now. That's what you're
Yeah.
going to need a threshold for.
Yeah. That kind of raises some red flags, though.
While this is going on, Foxtrot kind of inquires to Alpha Blue. So is there a timetable for this job, or just time with the essence here, or
I'm sorry, I may have missed something, but what was the job?
She wants to know who pulled the trigger and who authorized it.
Yep.
That's it?
That's what she asked for.
I mean, that's what previously was stated. I mean, if you want to continue down that path of questioning, we can.
No, that's
To answer your question real quick, Daniel, she was like, I want the job done right. Obviously, sooner the better. If these murderers know who I am, they're already running. They're already getting into hiding. If they don't know who I am, we'll have time to, well,
what was
extract a price from them.
What was Neil's runner handle?
He wasn't a runner.
He wasn't a runner.
He's a techie, right?
Yep, he's a
Yeah.
normie.
He was
Huh.
a normie. I mean, yeah, he had some skill with techno hacking, but he didn't do my side, our side of the court's work.
Now,
Where's that?
out of character, I ask first. When she says, or we'll, like you said, like ask him for a price or whatever, would I know what that technically means? Like, is she just ask? They're just gonna be asking for money, or like?
Oh, based on her tone and her demeanor, you know she means that she's going to put them down, and also based on like what everybody knows about her. Yeah, she's asking like, find these people so I could put a bullet through their heads.
That's what I figured. So has Raptor been relaying the info he's finding out loud, or?
In mumblings here and there.
Kind of like how he was telling me his character sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of random jarbled out my mouth as I'm trying to make things make sense.
So
We need to find Vivian or Van Vian.
Vanahan goes to
What company did you say the I or whatever was from? Like,
So the blueprints that Vanavan acquired isn't a blueprint for the actual eye. It's the spec sheet after it's been made. So I went from theoretical to practical. But from what I can tell, I can't assemble it. Someone as a technomage would have to infuse it with their magic to actually build it. But it seems to be it has been built.
Okay.
And if it does what the letter says it does, that is some awesome tech.
Yes, which I internally think, not say out loud, that hey, she doesn't want it.
Whoever is attached to this will have a target on their back.
Is this widely known aside from the companies that helped create it?
Probably not. So whoever created it or has it or wants it is going to defend it like crazy.
We know who currently has it.
No. All I know is it has been made. There's spec sheets on it. They did source some of the chips for the eye from Fark Electronics, but they're a pretty big chip manufacturer that provides to a lot of corporations. The only thing I'm seeing here is this Dutch Donovan. Supposedly he didn't make it through the blimp, but I happened to notice there's been a recent activity on his Matrix avatar, which either someone's using it or he's quietly doing stuff behind the scenes. But we need to speak to Vanian and find out where he got this from. Because to me it sounds like he found something, he didn't know what it was, and just grabbed and ran. A smash and grab in the Matrix.
Sounds like we have a starting point.
Yeah, definitely. That he's probably gonna be in hiding, so we're gonna have to try to find him discreetly. And that's not my forte.
That's where I come in.
Yeah, because he's probably most likely trying to be off the grid and out of any kind of cameras or things like that, so gotta put your ears to the pavement.
So, FYI, sorry, I forgot to mention before we started, I need to stop now. I need to get some sleep because I need to get up. It's 10:30.
Totally fair. I thought this was going to be a great place to wrap up.
Sleep is for the weak.
With this information known, the only thing I do want to know, so I can properly plan, because there is a spider web of directions that you all can go. Rough estimate, even if you narrow it down to like 2, maybe 3 at the most, of which directions you're going with this information.
So I feel like Foxtrot will try and get in contact with any of his informants that he doesn't feel has been burned, to try and get his ear to the pavement, to try and flush this guy out. So I feel like that's...
Are we trying to go like separate ways gathering info, or are we trying to just stick together? I know we all have our different sources and etc. So I don't know.
I would figure you do your separate sources, and then if you find anything, come back together so we can go track it down.
Okay. Do we want to look into Vanian
Yeah, Vanian's
together first
probably he's
before he might go into hiding?
yeah, he's a top priority right now.
Okay.
So Vanian's is where we're heading next.
Yes, because I got to find him, find out where he went, and what he was doing when he got this. It
Okay.
kind of reminds me of like hackers with that stupid kid in the Gibson just grabs a garbage file and runs.
Gotcha.
I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out what the hell it is.
Cool. And so you're going to use your contacts, Fox, to track down information about Donovan. Is that who you're tracking down?
No, Vanian.
Or Vanian? Vanian?
Vanian.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, Raze, what are you going to be doing?
She's probably going to keep Foxtrot as company as possible, you know. She understands the whole like secrecy with contacts or whatever, but if somebody did go after Vanian as well, which seems likely, She's a little bit concerned about an altercation there, so she wants to make sure that she's there to help if necessary.
Then
Yeah.
I'll just be kind of doing my. I don't have like tech sources, but I have like information brokers I talk to and stuff, and other people who might know some things or heard some things around the streets. So I'll just doing my own investigation.
Go buy a phone.
That
Hold
actually
on,
is
you think I can
something
afford a phone?
something that Ray would ask like before they leave here is how to get back in contact with Blue if they have questions or need to follow up on some information with her.
Blue sends to all of you, and she pauses for a second, and she's like, "I'm sorry, your AR is encrypted." She says to Spectre.
Ray's will actually laugh out loud and be like, "Excuse me."
You can just. I'll check with one of them. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So she sends to the rest of you her contact information. This is, you're probably gonna have to leave a drop, and then I will drop back to you. I need to go off grid for a little bit,
Understandable.
and I need to make sure that I'm hoping that there's no way they can know what they just did. And I'm going to disappear. So once we find out those names, they won't know what's coming for them.
One last question before you go.
Sorry, Raves was about to actually say something. I
Oh,
interrupted.
sorry.
I was also going to try and make this quick. So we have no reason to believe that she's like throwing us under the bus as like bait or anything like that, right?
I don't think so. Spectre kind of felt like something wasn't being said, but
Yeah, I was planning on relaying that after the fact. Once she's gone.
she feels like she's on the up and up, especially because she started off by just telling you flat out who she is.
Yeah, but we don't have any way to verify that unless Raptor did that.
I mean, you guys now have her information, and so you could.
Okay. All right, but it doesn't feel like there's anything malicious underpinning her request.
No.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, she's so good. How would we know anyway?
I mean, she did, fucking power a city with potatoes, so.
All right.
Yeah, that's true. Spectre, what were you about to say?
Regarding this situation of your brother's death, is this something that is being withheld at the moment, or is this
I've
being
paid off.
kept a secret?
I've paid off Lone Star to give me some time.
Okay.
So they will keep the press out of this as long as possible.
So aside from Lone Star and probably the assailants themselves, no one really knows about this already.
No one should.
Except those guys that were also in here vying for our job.
They work with me.
So they're not a concern?
No. They're part of my crew. They wanted the crew to handle it.
Ah, okay. Understood.
So why did you choose us then, instead of your own
Because-
crew?
If they started seeing that Alpha Blue or any of her crew is looking into the death of Neil Scott, they would realize that they took out a much higher value target than they already know.
Well, not only that, but there's the whole objectivity thing, right? If you're a surgeon, you don't operate on somebody you're close to, right?
To be fair, I'm mostly the heavy hitter. I think that some of my crew who also don't know who I am would have been able to track them down. But yeah, there is that. I just I'm playing this as safe as possible. And I found out about some of your work. And I think that there's some potential in this group. And I kind of would like to be able to have you in my back pocket in the future if possible.
Some nice looking pockets.
She chagrins and despite herself, but once she gains back her composure, she's like, unlike a normal group, we have yet to discuss payment. And I guess this is where we'll cut it.
Okay.
Good plan.
There.
Alrighty.
Have a good night.